Welcome back to the K-Files. Today we are investigating love in The Rain King.
Hey kids, welcome back to the K-Files. I'm one of your hosts, Chrysalia.
I'm Katie.
And on today's episode, we're talking about The Rain King.
Yeah, we're investigating The Rain King on the show today, here in the lush basement office. It's a Valentine's Day, so
It was a cute episode, man.
Let's go for it. Let's have some happy fun time.
Dude.
We've been dealing with the darkest shit on the show. We've been living in serial killer land
for a quote unquote happy, because it's X-Files.
Let's do some X-Files broad comedy. Let's do an X-Files episode that has at least one SNL alum in it, for example. Victoria Jackson is the SNL alum in question. She's pretty wonderful. One of my favorite guest stars of all time. There have been, there were three SNL alums who guested on the show over the course of the history. But yeah, Victoria Jackson coming to the show from SNL doesn't necessarily seem like the most obvious
was a
career
nice
path.
challenge.
But no, I think she did a nice job. And, she's really funny. She's alive. She's got a lot going on.
I'm telling you, it was a freaking cute episode for the X-Files. Finally. I've always wanted a happy episode. Finally got it. So
yeah, it's a very romantic episode, obviously. It's a very specifically romantic episode for Mulder and Scully because...
Gets a little jealousy. Maybe.
Well, I think my favorite element is that each character gets to give advice to one of the opposing characters on the show, and the advice that they give them is essentially to themselves. They're essentially talking to themselves about the other person. About Mulder's talking about him and Scully, and Scully's talking about she and.
I like how she questions when's the last time you went dating?
Oh, that's one of my favorite parts.
I'm like, damn, Scully just throws the bomb there. No love for Mulder, huh? All right.
Well, she's flabbergasted because she just knows he's terrible.
It's called
at dating.
Being a wingman, and you support your dude, man. You're like, yeah.
She knows firsthand he's just not the person to lead you
with
on
your
that
friend.
No, so I mean that's one of my favorite moments in the show, that little interchange. And because this particular episode is so positive, especially compared to what we've been looking at.
Yes, that's what I'm saying for the X-Files.
That we have to take a moment to look at all these delightful little moments for both characters. But first up, Mulder. Let's look at some Mulder moments.
So you get many of these?
That you just talked about, where he's on the phone with Scully and he's like, he wants me to give him dating advice, and she's just silent.
It's the perfect amount of silence too.
And he goes, hello, as if he just kind of knows, but is still like, okay.
He was a little hurt. He was a little hurt. You can see it, man.
It's a great moment. And then I do not gaze at Scully is another really great line reading from Duchovny. My very personal favorite is after the cow gets dropped on his hotel room, and he's trying to convince Scully of what happened. He tells her that cow had my name on it, which tickles me. And then probably my second favorite after that is when Mulder and Scully are at the news station for the first time, and they are confused with the Gundersons who won some contest, and the Gundersons arrive and walk over, and it's this very plain-looking couple, not like Mulder and Scully at all, and Mulder goes, looking in a mirror. Great line readings from Duchovny.
I'm like, what mirror, man?
He's good at he does the dry comedy really well.
Mulder.
So those are some of my favorite Mulder moments, and then we get one very excellent. Scully has reasonable concerns. Which is the Scully section of this. Scully has reasonable concerns in that conversation on the phone when she's silent and Mulder goes, hello. She kind of just defers, and then when she hangs up, she mutters, the blind leading the blind. She's very concerned for what Mulder's going to tell this person. But even though Scully has reasonable concerns, in this particular case, they actually are unfounded because the speech that Mulder gives Holman is pretty great.
It is,
the advice
actually.
he gives Holman. And then in turn...
I mean, Mulder can do it. He can give advice. Just give the guy a chance. Man, I got you, Mulder. Don't worry.
Well, that's the thing that Scully doesn't see, because in this particular part of the show, in this early part of the sixth season, we haven't really we're still flirting, we're still dabbling. Like the characters are still in this space of, I mean, it's the message of the show essentially is that they would be. They would be together. They would be Holman and Victoria if only they would turn and see each other.
Those
that way.
two, Jesus.
Well, that's what they give. I mean, Scully, the advice that she gives Victoria Jackson's character is essentially like, I'm ready for a relationship with Mulder, but he just like, whatever. Like, I mean, it's a beautiful speech where she talks about how you're friends and then one day you wake up and things are different. It's a really terrific, window into our stiff upper lip Scully's, emotional stuff that's going on with her. So there's that, but then at the same time, you do feel her frustration with Mulder, where she takes a particular beat when he is like, I'm going to give this guy dating advice, because she's like, you're not a romantic person. You don't have romance. But what she and Victoria Jackson learn in this episode is that romance is in the eye of the beholder. Like, you can have romance whenever you want, if only you would see something as romance. Like, Victoria Jackson only saw the love, the love for Holman, like only saw the romance there when she turned and looked at him properly.
Right.
She was like,
but
going
it took
off
forever.
in other
It took
directions.
forever to like get there.
Yeah.
But she got there. And it was adorable.
Yeah. So but then Mulder is still in denial. Mulder, I do not gaze at Scully. They keep getting confused with married couples throughout this episode. Like, if I knew you were bringing the missus. I moved you in with your boyfriend. Like, everybody assumes they're together. But Mulder is in denial, and Scully's in denial to an extent. She's in denial in this way, where she's like, well, I woke up one day and I'm in love with him, but at the same time, he's still him, and there's that element.
Right.
Other things that were fun, the Carpenters song. The X-Files uses the Carpenters. We've seen the Carpenters
Big
before.
Carpenters fan.
And since. Of course it wasn't the original Carpenters rendition. It was recorded by, actually, interestingly enough, recorded by the same artist who did the performing in Triangle, the episode also in the 6th season.
That's cool.
The Jeepers Creepers number and the big ballroom,
back on point.
big band number. That's the same vocalist who did
That's
those.
cool. That's really fucking cool, actually.
Yeah. There should be some Deep Cuts X-Files album that has all the music that they generated for the show that is essentially like this Carpenter song that they had some other artists
not
record
one
so they
out
could
yet?
use it for free or for whatever. Yeah. I would really set LP. Like, where's that? Mark Snow, what are you sitting on this stuff for?
Dude.
Like, we need it.
It's time. Let's go.
I love you, Mark Snow.
We love you. Just kidding.
Call me. Well, I mean, that's the love of the Rain King, really, is just that in this part of the 6th season, the two characters are deeply in love, but they won't even get together for a whole other season. It's going to be
all
a
know
whole
what's
other
happening
season before they actually, make out, even.
So
okay.
close. We're
It's
so
a slow
close.
Burn. It's a slow burn with the MSR. You have to really pay attention to the invisible world, and then you get all this beautiful, tension and flirting, and it's a romance that is so much deeper than the surface romance that the Victoria Jackson character wants on the show. Surface romance she wants on the show is stuff that doesn't matter in the face of finding somebody who has your back, who's your best friend, who you wake up and you're just in love with them one day. Everybody, that's the relationship that everybody wants, I feel like. So
Well said.
that's the whole point of Mulder and Scully, is to help you find your ideal relationship by learning to identify it on the show.
X-Files. Solving problems.
Or maybe that's just personal. I don't know.
Life lessons. X-Files.
Yeah, that's a wrap on the Rain King. We'll close the file on the Rain King for now. Directed beautifully by Kim Manners, written by Jeffrey Bell, who is a freelance script. I think this was. Doesn't write a lot of episodes of TV, but it's a little more. I mean, it's a little more broad than they normally do.
It's a happy episode, and I'm happy it was written.
Look,
Thank you.
Valentine's Day, I think I'll take this. I would take the Rain King.
Absolutely. And some M&Ms, because that's bogus. I'm just saying.
And dark
Watch
chocolate.
the episode. You'll get what I'm saying.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the K-Files. I'm Katie. You can find me at KMoles on social media.
And I'm your co-host, Chrysalia. You can find me at Chrysalia on all social medias. And we're coming at you from HollywoodRedux.com.
Hollywood Redux. Check us out on all the social medias, on our website, reduxgear.com. Has lots of cool t-shirts. And we'll be back next week with a new investigation. The truth is already here.
See you guys.
Bye. Thank you for watching. Around this box, you will see many ingenious buttons. Over there, you can click to follow us on social media. Down here, you can click for more episodes like this one. Over there, you can visit our store, reduxgear.com, which has lots of cool t-shirts. And over there, hit subscribe. You know you want to. Do it for me. And do it for you. Do it for us. Namaste.